Secateurs, pruners, snips. It doesn't matter what you call them, but one thing unifies them all, and experienced gardeners know this. And it's this. It doesn't matter how cheap they are or how expensive they are. Cheap, sharp pruners or secateurs will always top blunt, expensive ones. So, let me show you how super easy it is to sharpen all your tools so they're always sharp exactly when you need them. And once I've done that, let me show you an even easier way to do it. So let's get sharpening. So what I'm going to show you today is brilliant for sharpening your secateurs, but also any of your garden tools with an edge. It is this same way of sharpening that applies, and I'm going to make it super easy. Now, there are lots of ways that you can sharpen your tools and lots of ways that people do it. The way I sharpen my chisels and my plane blades is not how I'm going to sharpen my garden tools. This is something called field sharpening. The idea is you can just sharpen things quickly and easily when you need them. So when you're out in the garden getting a job done and you discover that they're a little bit blunt, you can quickly get them back to tip-top sharpness again, and it's dead easy. So that's what we're going to do. Now, first things first. You may look at your tools, these are Kate's, and you may see that they're quite dirty. I mean, these were silver, they're quite old, quite worn in, but I can see there's a lot of grime and plant sap and things on the blades. And if I'm going to go to all this effort of getting them super sharp and lovely again, I'm probably going to want to give them a good clean first. It's one thing them being a bit dirty because you're out in the garden working. It's another when they're just sitting really, really dirty. We would like things to be super clean again. There's no drama with this though, and I've shown you this before. I've shown you this lots of times. You don't need any fancy equipment for cleaning these. Good old soapy water and elbow grease does a great job. If you have it, if they're really bad, a bit of a scourer, scouring pad, scouring sponge, some steel wool, a Brillo pad, any of that is fantastic. Just make sure you give them a good rinse afterwards, get all the soap off and give them a really good dry. Now, we will oil them at the end. We wouldn't oil them before we sharpen them because we don't want any risk of them being a bit slippy when we're going to be making nice sharp blades. So if you're happy then that they're clean enough for you, and we're going to get sharpening now. Now, I kind of simplified the different types down into cheap and expensive. It doesn't matter how much you pay for your secateurs. If you look after them, they will do you well. But a little thing that is really handy is if you buy a set and they're like this, they have a bolt going through that lets you take them apart. This will make your life much easier because you can actually take them apart to properly clean them and sharpen them if you want to. You can then get into all this bit in the joint. You can get in there if you can take them apart. Okay, so if you have a pair that you can take apart, that is fantastic. So if you're buying new ones, that's something to look out for. But what we're going to do then, I'll use mine because they're not quite as dirty as Kate's for a change. That's unusual. And what I'm going to show you then, the thing you need to know about sharpening these is one simple thing, and it's called the edge. It's the edge we're going to sharpen, okay? And it is so easy when you know to find that edge. On these, you'll see they have one side that's got a slight angle on it, and the other side is flat. That side with that slight angle is your edge. That's the bit we're going to sharpen. Okay, now these have that on one side. Something like your hori-hori, your knife is actually got an edge on both sides. So we would sharpen both sides of that. Okay, it's a bit different with a saw blade. I'm not going to go into that today because it's a tiny little bit more finicky. I mean, it's not difficult or anything, it's just a bit more finicky. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on our pruners today. Now, this is what makes it super easy. I'm going to show you my fabulous tool. Now, regular viewers to this channel know that I keep all the links for everything I recommend in the description of the videos, okay? There's a link there that will take you to our Amazon page, and on there I've got a section for everything that's always in my pocket or by my side, and this is in there. This is a Sharpal sharpening tool, and it is this simple, okay? It's got this one edge that is what we're going to use for the sharpening. It's a curved edge. Okay, and this is fantastic. Like I say, it goes in your pocket whenever I'm in the garden. It's in my pocket, and once my secateurs feel slightly blunt, I just take this out, quick sharpen, and off I go again. So we're going to open these up, and I said we want to find that edge, so we're looking for the bit that's got a slight angle. Okay, now traditionally the way a gardener would sharpen these is they'll probably use a file, and they'll actually run the file across this way, following that edge, so they'll go like this. Okay, we're not going to do it that way. I'm going to turn these around, and I'm going to put them in the palm of my hand like this, so I can hold on to them. They're resting nice and secure on my hand, and I'm going to work towards me, and I can see there's that edge there, the slightly angled piece. I'm going to take my little tool with this rounded side, and I'm simply putting it on that bit of the blade where the angle is. Do your best to kind of match that angle the best you can, but don't stress over it, okay? And we're just going to drag it along. It's that simple. And what we do is, the more times we do that, the sharper we'll make it. And I find for when I'm out in the garden, I usually do maybe 20 to 30 passes. And it is that simple. Now, there is one thing. If you turn these over, now don't run your finger along the edge, not on the sharp bit, on this flat bit at the back. If you do this, you'll feel that it's slightly rough at that very edge point. That's called a burr. And that's there because what we're actually doing when we sharpen is we're actually bending over all these little tiny particles of metal onto the other side. So that's what you feel. So we're wanting to get rid of that, and to do that, all we do is the same thing again, but on this side, and we just need it to be kind of flat. Again, not a drama, until you feel that nice and smooth. There you go. Would you believe that's it? That's these sharp. Now, a good way to think about this and try and judge for yourself, if I now look, I can see that that edge, that slightly angled piece, is now very shiny, because I've obviously taken away any of the dirt, the grime that's been sitting on that, and a little layer of the metal. And that's how I know they're now sharp. Now, how easy is that? That works for all of these tools, regardless of how expensive they are. So these are a slightly different type of pruner, but I've had these for about 10 years. They were my very, very first set of pruners. They cost, I think, about £4 in the local hardware store. They're really, really, these guys have been through the wars, but it's exactly the same. I look into them and I find my edge, and then I just take my sharpener over it. And I can see already, because these have got a black coat on them, I can see it's now got a shiny piece along the edge, because it's taken that off and made them sharper. That's simpler than you thought, isn't it? There's no excuse for having horrible blunt pruners annoying you when you're working. But if that was too difficult, if that wasn't easy enough for you, let me show you an even easier way. This is how Kate sharpens her tools, because it is so fast and easy. It is using this. Same company, it's Sharpal, but it's another type of their sharpener. The difference is this one has lots of places on it for sharpening lots of different types of tools. So it's got a piece for your axe, so you can sharpen your axe. It's got different sort of types of sharpening tool there. One's ceramic for doing all sorts of things, like you can use it for doing big shears, scissors, knives, that kind of thing. It's got a piece on the top here specifically for knives, but it's got a section here, and you can see because there's a little picture, that's specifically for doing your pruners. And it has the edge already in it, and it is really, really simple to use. It's like this. So we'll sharpen Kate's furrow. And what I'm going to do is, again, same as before, get a really good grip of these, and you can see the angle is in the tool and the angle is on the blade, and all I'm going to do, you can see how that fits all the way in there, and I'm going to drag it across the blade. And because that sharpener has that angle on it, it's putting it perfectly back on there for you. Now I'm going slow so you guys can see, but you can actually do this quite fast once you're used to using it. And it's so simple. These are now super sharp. Very, very shiny edge on them now. And you don't have to take the burr off the back because this does it for you. Now, I said this was a multi-tool, so it has a section here for knives. So if I wanted to sharpen my Hori Hori blade, it's exactly the same. You're just dragging it through the sharpener. How fabulous is that? So 2 super simple tools that will make sharpening so much easier, and in turn just make your life in the garden easier, because sharp tools make all the difference. So I hope that was useful, guys, and I will see you next week. See you, folks.